Howdy, folks. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about IEM shootout I've been doing. I mentioned it last week, 2 weeks ago. Bunch of drama things happened at least in my IEM circles. I won't get into any of that, but so it went a little slower than I wanted, but we're on track here pretty well. So what we are seeing here on the video is the IEMs that have won, they have survived the first tier of battle. And so just real quickly show you what we got here. We got the Sony XBA Z5, these guys right here. We got the U12T, the 64 audios. We got the Softears RSV, got the Tench Gem Oxygens, the Unique Melody 3D Terminator, and the EJ07. And the other sets you don't see here did not win, and I'm not going to pull them out. I've already pulled them out about 1.5 billion times today. Well, actually over the last week plus, and well, a lot today as well. And well, this is what we're left over with. So just real quickly, I wanted to bring up what I have been working on. All right, so songs are listed in the first column. Yeah, those aren't IEMs, those are songs. Any case, all right, Body and Soul by Johnny Green. That's Eric Marenthal. He's a saxophone player. That's a cover by him. It's recorded live in a really high quality venue. And it's got a lot of everything. It's really, it's got a live stand-up bass. The saxophone is super rich, really rich mids. It's got, the airy sort of jazzy drums going on in the background. I started this video with that track, just in case you care. So I'm just going to go over these tracks real quick, why I picked them. Brutal Truth Sugar Daddy, that's grindcore. It's incredibly distorted. It's supposed to actually sound like on dynamic speakers, on normal speakers, like a pulsing beat. It has so much high-end treble and distorted guitar, and it's actually mixed distorted in way above the red line. And so it sounds like a mushy, pulsing beat. That's what that guy should sound like. Next we have Jimi Hendrix Machine Gun, live at the Fillmore East, 1970. So a buddy that lent me a bunch of these headphones, I asked him, hey man, give me a track that you really like and I'll do that one. And actually I needed a good classic rock style track with some guitars, and this one kills it, absolutely kills it. I don't actually know, let me think. Yeah, no, I found it on YouTube, but then I found a copy of it on the internet and listened to that, and that's what I've been doing with that one. So then we got Pink Floyd, Shine On, You Crazy Diamond, Part 1, On the Run. That's actually off of a Japanese black label. I'm not really sure what, but good high quality, original, non-remastered version of Shine On. I wanted to include some classic rock, obviously, because, and Shine On, I mean, I was kind of battling with, what's the other one? Well, Dark Side of the Moon, some tracks off that. But overall, I mean, we're talking, Dark Side of the Moon, I got to be right in the mood for, and it's not necessarily something I'd listen to every day, but Shine On, I can jam out anytime, so I just yeah, I'll do that one. Hong Kong Express, that's a, well, it's one of my bass tracks. It's got a 25 hertz blast of sub bass in that. Should sound like you're in a cavern with twinklies that come and go. It's a crazy track actually, but it's got a lot of bass in it, so that's why I use that. Tom VR, that's actually, so I was listening to Disclosure, and they had a mix that had a track in there I really liked. I was running to it and looked it up, and it turns out this guy named Tom VR, couldn't find the words. It's a very ambient sort of, well, it's an EDM but ambient track, real mellow, driving, got a good beat to it, really like it. I can run to that any day of the week, and it puts me in a really good meditative mood. Moving on, we got Burning Spear, Red, Green, and Gold. So this is a old 70s recorded track. This is roots reggae. This is actually, yeah, I think it's a dub. No. I'm sorry, this isn't a dub. The second one I got is I and I Survive as a dub. But so this one is recorded all on analog equipment, no doubt. It's as high quality as a recording as you can get for this era, which is probably early 70s, I'm thinking. It's really, really excellent, excellent recorded, and it's got all live instruments. I mean, it's mixed, but it's mixed in a very natural, neutral way. So anyway, that's a good track to listen to. Submotion Orchestra, I got some female vocals on this, which are actually quite particular. And then it's got a nice big blast hit of bass at 34 hertz, kind of a mellow jazzy thing going on with this one. Earth, Wind, and Fire After the Love Is Gone. That is picked because it's a 70s track. It has really excellent, excellent male vocals and harmonies, and has a really high quality production with twinklies and like everything in a track you might want out of a really high quality audio file, yet sort of 70s vibe track. Well, I don't know what we call Earth, Wind, Fire, like soul? Well, whatever. Moving on. Fat Freddy's Drop. If you don't know about these guys, they're sick. They're out of New Zealand, I think. Big BW is so Fat Freddy's Drop has a male vocalist. They got a 3-horn section. They got actually don't have a drummer, which is weird, and I don't think they have a bassist. I'm nearly sure. So all of that stuff is synthesizer driven, but it's super interesting. I would call them maybe Afro funk with a little reggae tinge in there. Look it up on the internet. It's a killer track. Big bass line, excellent vocals, real chill, real mellow, good groove. Burning Spear, I and I Survive. This is dub reggae from the 70s, as good as it ever gets. And this track, see, it's off, I think, Garvey's Ghost. Marcus Garvey, and Garvey's Ghost is like the dub version. Highly recommended. It puts me in a very interesting mood, very unique. And also recorded on analog gear, incredibly good, high quality recording. Yeah, it's a good one. I have to include a little extra reggae because that's like, it's one of the things I have the most of in my library, and I absolutely adore it, and I grew up around it, and so that's my stuff. Double Stand Art. This is a French dub band. Actually, I wow, I didn't even spell it right. It's the weirdest name. Double Stand Art. Anyway, feat with David Lynch and Lee Scratch Perry, who's a dub guy, does reggae. So this is somewhere between EDM, ambient, and reggae dub. Yep, excellent track. I just absolutely adore it. I've been listening to these guys recently, and I thought it was a good one to include here. Lots of bass, lots of nice twinkly stuff in the trebles. Wide mix. Bird of Prey. This is EDM. Well, maybe electronica, not so much EDM. This has like more Easter eggs and little things that you can find in the track that are synth driven than a lot of stuff out there. It's really interesting. And it's got a lot of bass, a lot of treble, a lot of high mids. Like I said, totally synthesizer. But as far as like Easter eggs and things, this track is one of the best I've ever heard. So it's a good one to hear. Probably for treble stuff and just overall tuning and wideness of sound. Cat Corp, I just love this song. It's just a chill bass blast with sax over the top of it, which are like two of my favorite things to play saxophone. So, but yeah, this one has like a what does that say? 30 something hertz, 32 hertz tone in there. So, and then the final one is Sergio and Odar Assad. I play classical guitar, and this was one of the things I learned a bunch of their studios when I was younger. But it's acoustic guitar recording. It's done raw. It's done in the way that like a lot of classical recordings are done, which is that you hear a lot of the background stuff that's around the, people in the room coughing, shuffling their chairs, crap like that. But it is a very naked track in the sense that the guitar, the nylon string classical guitar, should sound just like that, right? And so I chose it because it does that sort of thing, that you're really focused right on the guitar itself and the tonality of the plucked strings and things. So anyway, 15 tracks. All right, the headphones we got the RSV, Softears RSV versus the A8. Yeah, so we got like notes here. I'm not going to get into this too heavily. You guys can look this up if you care, but the thing here is that we will notice I basically give myself some notes. I mean, the RSV wins. I think it wins everything here. Does the A8 win anything? No. Oh, well, I mean, the takeaway on this is the A8's got like a little bit more mid bass, a little less sub bass, but personally, I prefer the RSV. It's just got a better meteor tonality in the mid range. So it wins. Moving on. And by the way, I couldn't possibly do every IEM versus every IEM. That would take me, that's so many permutations, I wouldn't be able to do it. So this is the first tier. RSV wins versus A8. And so we have the unique melody, this guy here. 3D Terminator versus the EST12. Let's pull this out just to prove I've got it. It's kind of new. Yeah. Cool. It didn't win though. Off it goes. All right, so talking about some stuff. These two IEMs are probably less listened to than other ones. The EST112 did like a lot of the tracks I love the most. It doesn't do that well on, but tracks that maybe surprised me, it did well on. So overall, let's see if I can count this up. We got, let's see, EST is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not so good. It's like 5. And then if we go to the 3D Terminator, we've got, by the way, on the Brutal Truth track, Jesus Christ, the EST 112 is just like, no, not going to do it for me. The 3D Terminator is just very good, actually, comparatively. That's an extreme track. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not so good. 7, 8. Yeah, you get it. It wins the majority. So 3D Terminator moves on. And then, whoa, sorry about that. We got Nana, the Kinera Nana, whatever. Oh, come on. Nana 2.0 versus EJ. No, I haven't heard the 1.0, and I probably won't because it's out of style now. This is pretty much, it's an EJ onslaught. Now, the problem with the Nana, and I'll do a review about this maybe today, maybe later, but it's basically got too much treble for my preferences in it. Like, if you A/B test this with a lot of sets, not just the EJ, it does sound like it's got a lot of treble. And it's got like a little bit of brittleness in some tracks, in some cases. I'm not sure if the Nana is, where are you? Well, I put it away. But it's got like a 60 ohm impedance, and it's way higher than anything else on this table. So... but I was absolutely using an amp that should have done it. That should have given it enough oomph. X Duo 05 plus. It's like 1 watt. That should be enough for a 60 ohm. I forget the sensitivity, right? It's not like I was maxing it out or even close. But anyway, I was just trying to think like, why brittleness? Like, anyway, maybe just the tuning. Hard to say. Probably the tuning. I'm not going to pull up graphs right now. I'll do that with the actual reviews, but I think the Nana, in fact, does have a lot of treble over, I don't know, 9K or something. Quite a bit. So, yeah, unfortunately for all of this stuff, it just didn't do that well. I'm trying to think. Let's see. There was one Tom VR, so that was like, you know, there was a bit of like EDM ambient track. Both of those headphones did really well. I want to say that the EJ overall has a little bit better bass slam. Not like the Nana has bad bass slam, but the EJ is pretty much killer. So, sorry, Nana. And also, overall, I would, well, like I said, I'll do a review. You get it. EJ wins over the Nana 2.0. Next, we got the Theaudio Voyager 14 versus the U12T. Now, I could have done a lot of different sets versus the U12T, but thinking like, well, let's just throw as many balanced armatures as we possibly can at the problem. And yeah, this review is pretty much hilarious. After the first track, I'm just like, well, I mean, I did actually go through these, but it was only seconds. It was like the V14 does not measure up to the U12T. I mean, it just doesn't. This guy is in another league, in my opinion. And honestly, the V14 overall is not my favorite set. I think probably people have seen my graph, and I'm probably going to do a little bit of a re-rating on it just because I have an opportunity to, and why not, right? Got some different gear. Let's give it a shot. But in this case, the U12T just annihilated it. It made it its little, you know what, and they're not in the same category. Unfortunately, I just thought maybe, you know, that many balanced armatures. Well, the V14 technically has more. Ha 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 ha. But no. I mean, I don't even get into it. This thing is just in another league, and overall fantastic. All these tracks I tried, there was really nothing that, well, there was nothing that upset me at all. These guys are getting a review by themselves. The XBA Z5 versus the Dunu SA6 Studio 6, I believe. And the problem with this particular combination, okay, so look, basically I was doing this kind of just because these are the two sets were sort of similar in price, kind of, I guess, like, well, current prices. And it turns out that it was a reasonably good test. They are tuned a bit differently. So it tends to be that I think when tracks have, yeah, that's weird. Tracks have, well, yeah, acoustic instruments basically. So we have like a Sergio and Assad, you know, that's acoustic guitar. The SA6 came out on top. What else we got? Louis Armstrong, that's like, you know, raspy vocals with Ellis Fitzgerald, which is also raspy female vocals, I would say. But that's right smack in like the mid-range. SA6 wins. Double standard actually, yeah, the SA6 just wins. Interestingly, the Z5 on this track showed better treble extension, and the Z5 has some sick treble extension. It's really ridiculous. And it's not in a bad way. In fact, like if I had to say which of the treble extension, Z5 versus the Nana, the Z5 takes it, in my opinion, just in case anyone cares easily. It's much more controlled and nicer to hear. The Nana is a little unruly, actually. Z5, like, on some tracks, okay, so Burning Spear I and I Survive, it's got a lot of mids. That was mixed on analog equipment, and the mids are like, wow, they're a lot. Everything is right there. And on the SA6, it has a little bit of a peak up in the like snare area of that, and it was like whack, 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 and it kind of got to me after a while. And I'm just like, well, I'm gonna have to give it to the Z5, because if a set basically starts making a snare drum too loud, and I hear it over and over again, that's pretty much the end of that. It just can't work. That's not the way it was mixed in the track. That's not the way it was intended, and that can't work. So Z5 takes it. I actually thought the SA6 might, but mostly because I probably haven't heard the Z5 a lot recently, but it is what it is. So Z5 takes it. We got the last but not least, and that's another onslaught. It's like the U12T kind of thing. O2 versus the KB ear Believe. And it's not that the Believe is a bad set. It's really actually okay. But the O2 just basically just destroys it and everything. It has a more rich timbre. It's got a better tonality. It's in most cases wider. The Believe just has, it sounds a little unrefined in a lot of cases. It's got a high mid thing going on that's just not nice, not as nice. The O2 has like mids for vocals and instruments right in the perfect places, and it really was easy to test this one out. So the O2 beats the hell out of the Believe, in my opinion, and as well it should, I suppose, for the price, a little more. Anyway, so this was a hell of a lot of crap for my ears to deal with. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you how many, I mean, like, each of these tracks I had to try, like, I mean, gosh, and some of them I was doing 10 swaps per headphones. So also, if a headphone, you know, if they basically sound, I'm not the same, but I enjoy both of them the same, then I would say so. So there was definitely some ties in this. Does it matter? Whatever, you know. So next here is going to be, oh, thank God I got, because like the RSV versus the A8, that's actually a hard one to do. Those are both from nearly the same company with, you know, a lot of the same technology, drivers, tuning, blah, blah, blah. That was just a hard one to do. And I love both of these headphones. It's just, you know, in general, the RSV came out on top. See if there's anything else to talk about. No surprise on the EJ, but the Nana, it's just not as well refined as the EJ in my opinion. That sounds funny because the EJ is like, you know, considered rolled off, but U12T is just, yeah, awesome. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, folks, this was a lot of work, but the next tier should be faster. Let's see, I got 1, 2, 3. I got 3 to go, and then I'll probably just do the final 3 against each other. You know, why not? And I mean, just to let people know, I'd be pretty surprised if the U12T was not in those 3. Man, there's some heavy competition in here. Really is. So, all right. Thanks a lot, folks. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.